Hello, I'm Dave Turner, Executive Vice President of ENCO Systems, and I would like to welcome you to an overview of the ENCO ClipFire. In its basic offering, ClipFire is an extremely capable video server and playout system. It has powerful features for both live and automated environments where large libraries of video clips need to be accessed instantly and played to multiple output channels. There's also an enhanced version of ClipFire that we call ClipFire Plus, and that unit integrates and manages a whole suite of other media elements including live inputs, graphics, animations, crawls, rolls, titling, and even some basic digital effects. ClipFire Plus can act as a complete media operations manager and provide full channel-in-a-box functionality. So to begin with, in this segment, let's talk about the basic ClipFire. This user interface has evolved from 3 decades of use in ENCO's radio automation products and has been refined to provide intuitive and efficient operation for workflows found in live TV broadcasts and stage performances. You can see that this operator screen features these large buttons with thumbnail graphics and titles on them, make it easy for the operator to select what he wants to play. This is also perfect for touchscreen operation because the buttons are so large. Right now you can see my arrow from the mouse here over Pitbull, and I can click on it and stop it. But I could easily do that from the touch screen. I have a touch screen here and you'll see a different cursor. That's touching it from the touch screen. So the nice large buttons are very nice for touchscreen operation. And there are multiple pages of these. There are 48 buttons on this page, and they're 8 columns wide, 6 rows high. But there are multiple pages. There are up to 10 different pages, giving you 480 cuts available. And you can see I can call up a page selector and then go directly to a particular page. Or I can step from page to page with the previous and next buttons at the bottom of the page. So here we go to, a couple of pages, or here I can select from, a different page over here. So it's very simple to utilize these buttons. In order to put something on a button that doesn't already exist, I need to access my library module. There's a couple ways to do that. I can get a full screen module by hitting Alt-L for library on the keyboard, and that brings up this library screen, which has all the ability to search and sort and find the elements that you want. You have multiple categories, which are also displayed here. We call them groups. These are user definable and you can have as many as you want. But for instance, I'm selected in the news group right now, and you can see that I have various news cuts in here. All I need to do is grab one, say this major spring snowstorm, drag it down to the button, and there it is. And I can immediately play it. And as I play it, you'll see some other features of this main screen. And that is, we have a video viewer panel down the left side here. That includes a program output and a preview output. If I were to audition something, like I had the library up previously, I'll go ahead and bring that library up again. If I wanted to look at something before I put it onto a button, I can hit the player in the library and preview the element over here. And there is also more to the previewer because it has edit features as well. I can go into an editing function, which gives me the ability to scrub through a file, set new head and tail points if necessary, grab a different thumbnail for it. So a lot of interesting things that can be done in conjunction with the library, even while I am playing other things on air, as you see going on here. So it's also a very configurable interface. When I close up some of these things, I'll show you. Right now, I am set up to be utilizing just a single panel of buttons here, and I have one video output and a previewer that is showing on the left-hand side. But if I go to my setup screen here, I have the ability to build different user profiles. We call them user setup files. And this can completely change the character of the machine. All of the modules that you see can be sized. I can drag and I can change the size and position of these things. But if I want to store everything and be able to return to it, I create a user setup file. And so I have these various files stored in here. So let's do something that's a little bit different. Like say I don't need the video player. I have a video screen external that I'm watching. I can go into a ClipFire mode that goes full screen. And so now I'm not wasting real estate for that video player. I have all the same features. I have the same page buttons that let me select different things. I also have the same channel assignments, but I'm not wasting the real estate to display the viewer product. But if I want even more, let's go back to my setup screen here, and I'm going to select something that gives us 4 different output channels. So here's an arrangement that has 4 different output panels, and you'll see that I've squeezed these up. So I'm really not interested in the preview or the edit features here. I'm more using real estate to maximize the ability to play to and monitor 4 independent outputs. And I also can assign various columns of my playback panel to different outputs. You'll see these 2 are going to output 1, these 2 are going to 2 and 3 and 4, and so on. And I can play all of these things simultaneously and independently. And there's features that can play loops in here. These can be stills. These can be just about any kind of video and or audio component that you want. So there's an amazing amount of flexibility here. And I'll stop those all, and let's take a look at one more configuration. Say I wanted to arrange them differently. Let's just take those 4 same channels and we'll stack them vertically instead. So now loading that, you'll see that I have the same pages of things to play over here, but now my 4 program outputs are arranged this way, and I still can play multiple things on multiple channels. So very, very powerful, very flexible. So now you can see that the operation is very straightforward. It's just drag and drop and press and play. But to get there, we need to build up a library of assets to use. It supports a multitude of formats and codecs, as you can see in this document. And for a closer look, you can download this list from a URL we will provide at the end of this video. Now with that said, let's answer the question, how do you get these assets into ClipFire? Well, this process can be manual, automatic, or both. The manual process is straightforward drag and drop. First, you need to open an Explorer window. So I'm going to minimize my video panel here and go over to my sample video folder and open it up. And here's various elements I would like to get into the system. Now I need to expose the library module. Again, I'm going to do the Alt-L on the keyboard. And then all I need to do is drag an element into the library. So for instance, I'll go to my ENCO imaging here, and since I have my news group opened up, let's say I want to put the economy news bumper into the library. I just drag it and let go, and now I get this pop-up that lets me put metadata associated with this element into the library. So there's lots of options here, but basically the simplest thing is to just pick the next available element, which means it'll find the next available cut number and put it in the library under that with a title based on the file name of the file. There's also the ability to use these features over here within a group, which then means if I wanted to position it in my news group, I could select news here. And then when I pick the next thing in the group, now it's going to associate it with the news group, and it'll give it the very next cut number in here. So if I go to the end, here's my economy news bumper. And from here, I can call my video panel back up. I can instantly play it and preview it in the library. If it's what I want, I can drag it onto a button, and now I can play it to air directly from that. So now there's an even better way to do this, and that's a more automated setup. And that involves using the Dropbox module. This module here is a rule-based ingest module that reads watch folders. So I've got a list of rules in here that I've created. Some of them are based on the type of asset. Others are the category that it goes into. Things can be arranged any way you want, and these are just a couple of examples. But for instance, for the news that I just used, each rule has settings in here, including the watch folder. You want it to look for the elements. And then various details about what the cut range is that we'll utilize, and the location of the database and the location of the actual asset. So quite a few things that you can dial in here, including you can have this email people on success, or if it fails, or it's very set up to monitor this from external admin people to make sure that things are working properly. But in its most basic sense, it just follows the rules, looking in the various watch folders, and then finds something that matches a rule and brings it into the system. So while this is running, I can have this running on screen, or it can be in the background. It usually has to be, it's minimized down on the taskbar, and you would bring it up. So now if I want to do a similar thing, let's do the breaking news bump over here. So in this case, now what I will do is I will open up my watch folders, and then here's my news watch folder. I'll take the breaking news and drop it into the news folder. If I look at that, there it is. And then if you watch over here, see Dropbox just found it, matched it with a rule, ingested it into the system, and removed it from this watch folder. So now if we go back to ClipFire and we take a look at our library, now we have the breaking news bumper in here. And again, I can audition this on my preview monitor. And I can, if I wanted to do any of the head and tail trims, here's again how you might utilize this. You set where you want the new start to begin, and set the start there, and go to the home, go to the end, go to the start. And if that's what I want, I set that, and now when I put that on a button, it plays from that part of the cut. Very simple. So this is how you get those in and out of the library. And there's also the ability to record assets. So a record module could be added to ClipFire that would allow you not only to record something into the system and then assign it as a playback on a button, but you could record something or actually use the live input that goes into the recorder and place it on a button directly, so that you could select a live feed to the program output channel in the system. Okay, so up to now you've seen some examples of what ClipFire can do, but I'm sure you want to know the specs. The input, output, video, audio, all of the interfaces are determined by the I/O hardware that's installed into the unit. We currently utilize AJA, Blackmagic Design products, and there are some others, but those are the primary units. We support up to 8 in, out. Typically, we use cards that can have inputs or outputs. So an 8-channel card could be 4 in, 4 out, or whatever other combination you want. We support composite video, component video, and SD and HDI, SDI, also HDMI. We also support NewTek NDI for video over IP. In addition to the flexible control via ClipFire's user interface that we've just explored, ClipFire can also be controlled by other external devices like control room automation systems and video production switchers. We talk to Sony ELC and MVS systems via VDCP over a serial connection. We can talk to Grass Valley Ignite, Broadcast Pix, TriCaster, and Vidigo systems via IP. We can talk to Ross Automation systems via our own proprietary ENCO command language over IP or serial. And we even have generic button panels that we can interface with general purpose I/O contact closures. So that's an overview of the ENCO ClipFire video playout system in its basic configuration. If you want more information, check out our website, www.enco.com. If you have any questions, please reach out to ENCO Sales as described on the website, or call 1-800-ENCO-SYS and select option 1. For ENCO Systems, I'm Dave Turner. Thanks for watching.